Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. All right. Let's see. Headbutt machine and fish cannon should be working. Fish cannon's working, confirmed. Beautiful. And headbutt machine's working. Okay, fantastic. Okay, notifications are out. Wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Thursday. Raster, that is not my name. That's not my name. Also, is my chat working? Hello, chat? There it goes. Okay. So I have a theory that I don't know why everything seems a little bit slow off today, notifications wise. Hopefully it won't be too scuffed. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Listen. Welcome back, but also it is fierce. It's fierce, okay? It's just.
Did I get you?
No, Squeeshla. It's just fierce. It's just fierce. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. It's Thursday, so let's see. Today we're gonna do some exciting stuff. It's gonna be a group art project. Are you guys ready? Hello. All right, let us do some of the hellos. Let's see, what do we got? Midlight, hello there. Glad you could make it today. Cannot draw currently. can you click a pixel with the mouse? New drawing, only leather. Ooh, oh wait, were you the one making the cool leather sheath? Oh, that's so neat. Oh my goodness. Heck yeah, let's go. Oh my goodness. No, so in the Discord, which I do have, and Discord, we have a whole like place for people to post stuff they're working on. Super cool seeing the variety of stuff. Yeah, Magrior, hello there. Glad you could make it today. Kyron, welcome in. Oni, hello. Welcome. Okay, and then we are all caught up. So yeah, today, have you guys heard of this thing? It is called W Place or something. Yeah, W Place. It is open to literally everybody. Everybody can put down like an pixel like every 30 seconds or something like that. So like, you guys want to draw some fish? Like, you want to? Yeah, it's like a. I guess it started as like a Reddit thing, but yeah, we could draw and fish on the map. I thought that would be super cool. So yeah, I think the plan is we're gonna draw some pixel art to figure out what we want to do, and then collectively we could go and we could actually add it to the thing. I don't either, honestly. Like that, I'm so curious though. Like, you guys want to try it? That's the thing. We could draw and fish. And in the meanwhile, we can just chit chat and do some art. But that was kind of my stratagem for today. Something to kind of chill. But did you guys have a good Wednesday? My days are kind of thrown off right now. I have to keep reminding myself that it's Thursday. There is a downtime? There is. It's every 30 seconds, I think you can place one pixel. Yeah, we're going to be doing some regular drawing as well. Yeah. Aw, so close to nice. Alas. It's interesting. I'm looking up at my little chat thing over here. The roles don't actually appear on the chat, which is interesting. Why would you do that, Racer? Really? I guess I should have expected that my denizens would immediately go for chaos. I should probably have, like, realized. Honestly, I think it's okay that the rules don't show up in chat. I think that's alright. It keeps it, like, clean over here. So, like, if I did toggle on, like, and then I got pelted with, like, 12 bajillion fish, it would just, this whole chat window would just be all fish. Hello. But yeah, I like the chat being the thing right there. He's good. Thank you for the fish. But yeah, I don't really have news today. It's Thursday. Normally I don't have news today. Shall we draw? You guys want to draw? I want to draw. Let's draw stuff. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to go into Clip Studio and we're just going to make some pixel art. I might have been doing a few pixel arts ahead of time. Cat news? Not really any cat news to update, unfortunately. Unless you count Felix deciding he wanted to throw up on my office chair, which... So I was really tired and I'm like, you know, I think I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna turn off all my stuff in my office, right? And then I come back and then Felix has just left a little present on my chair. That's about the only cat news that I have at this time. It's not that exciting. You do count that as cat news? Okay, well there you go. There's the cat update for you. Alright, let's swap over to art mode. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go do some art for a bit. Grumpy old man cat. Yeah, basically. So yeah, I think later in Strem, but we're gonna try to do the draw together thing. I have some pixel art Feesh that I've drawn as examples, but I don't know how to coordinate, you know? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Not being allowed to chew on my cables. I never let him chew on my cables. I don't know why he did this. Maybe he needs more brushing. I don't know. Anyway, let's do some art. I have a couple of ideas for things that I just want to draw. I had an idea for like. Actually, let me go sit over here. We'll swap to art mode, right? So I have a couple of pixel art Feesh already. Have I tried having less delicious cables? See, here's the thing. I don't eat cables, so I don't know what makes them delicious or not, you know? Thank you for Feesh. Okay, let me also swap to art category. Bam. Okay, so I have this idea. So I want
real estate.
Thank you, Squishlet. Listen, it is free real estate. On the W place, we could just go take over a body of water. We could draw fish all over, you know? It's Tim. Yes. So I'm not sure if I like the bigger outline or not. Maybe. But we have a selection of fish that we could try drawing on the W place later in Stremb. But for now, we have Tim. We have an example. We can pick.
Isla, fun fact. Did you know that before the invention of the crowbar, crows would just drink at home? Now they could drink all the vodka they wanted.
You know, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Wow. Today I have learned. Would it be so instead of like drinking a cocktail, would they have like a feathered drink? Would it be like I'm sure they would call it something different, right? Caw? They would probably say it caw, a caw tail or something like that. A caw tail for the boys. Also, Night, thank you very much for Feesh and also for the joke. Let me sit up a little bit higher. I feel like I was sitting really low. Okay, hold on. Saving. Oh, I also have a new thing. I will probably break that out next week. I have a new thing to show you guys, but I want to make sure that you can give it head pats. It's very important, okay? I haven't had time to set up cool hotkeys on it yet, but there's a new thing. It's gonna be very cool. Oh, 95? Ooh, close. New thing? You know exactly what the new thing is, Midlight, because you made it. Are you guys excited? You should be excited. Why? The head pat sound did not go off. Hold on. Are my sounds scuffed?
Hello.
What's... No, it did work. Okay, that worked. It went off on your end? Well, why didn't I hear it? Oh, no. Okay, so you did hear the... Oh. Listen, as long as you guys can hear it, I guess. I don't have a beard. Sorry, Gumpy. Sorry to disappoint you like this. I know it's shocking. I don't actually have a beard. Yeah, something funky is definitely happening. Racer, hello there. Glad you could make it today. So the trick is, the problem is that, so no matter how good my hearing is, if the audio is not routed through, mix it up to OBS to the sound monitoring, there's no way for me to hear it. Like the magical like rock that is my computer is not whispering sounds to me properly. You know, it's one of those things. Philly harmonica, hello there. Glad you could make it today. Welcome in. I cannot hear digital signals, no. My hearing is not that good. Maybe once in the olden days, but back then we didn't have computers, so... No ear tennis? No, unfortunately not. Can I hear Wi-Fi? No, thankfully I cannot. Listen, that would be a nightmare. Just imagine. The whole world is like littered with radio signals and stuff, like all over the place. Imagine if you couldn't not hear them, right? Oh. So let's draw some fish, shall we? We're gonna draw some interesting. We'll leave Tim. Yes, Squeezela, hello. We're gonna leave Tim. He's gonna be our little friend, whilst we draw a few more little pixel art things. Phoenix, hello there. Glad you can make it today. Yeah, welcome in. All right, so for anybody who just arrived, the plan is we're gonna draw some stuff, and then we're gonna collectively try to see if we can draw a fish, a pixel art fish, in W place. It's like everybody can contribute like pixels and draw a thing. So we're gonna see if we can draw a thing. Okay, I have, where is it? It's open here somewhere. Okay, let me show you. Hold on. So you go to W place, and it covers up chat, which probably we don't want. So you go here, right? So I'm thinking in the ocean or something, right? We're like the Gulf of Mexico. We're gonna zoom in on the Louisiana, and there's this little island here, Marsh Island, right? So we're gonna keep zooming in, and you can see like little stuff is populating here and there. There's some creatures and stuff, but we need more fish. Also, there's this little tiny cute fish right here, adorable. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can draw and fish. That's gonna be the stratagem later. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Are you ready to contribute and pixel? We're gonna draw together. Yeah, so you can pop in, you can paint a pixel, and then it's like you get one pixel every like 30 seconds or something like that. Yeah, it's like we can all draw together and we can put a fish. We can put fish back into the thing. It should be very good. But that will be a bit later. For now, we are going to draw. Actually, should we? Hold on. If we go here. Oh! How? I don't actually know how to paint. Paint? Oh, you gotta log in. Okay, well, you have to log in. I did not know that was a thing. Okay. Let me turn this off. Let me, I guess, log in with Twitch? Okay, we'll figure this out. Hold on. Painting. Okay, let's log in with Twitch. Why not? Okay, it's thinking. Hold on. I'm logging in with Twitch. I'm gonna put down a pixel. Hold on. Okay. It's thinking. We might have to come back to this later. Okay. Can we not log in at all? One whole pixel. Yeah, it's thinking about it. I don't know if this is gonna work then. Hello? Hello? Our stratagem for today might not work. Hopefully it works. We have disabled new Twitch accounts for security reasons. My Twitch account is not new. What? Okay. Okay, well, maybe this isn't going to be a thing that we can do at this time. That'd be kind of weird. Yeah, so, Maybe they're just having, like, trying to keep the place secure. So there are rules like no suspicious, not safe for work type stuff, right? So we're gonna let this sit for a little bit and see if that will work. Let's try this again. Hold on. One more time. Hold on. Okay. It's verifying. Let me try one more time and see if we can get this to work. It's thinking. Nah, I don't know if this is gonna work today. Oh no. Alright, so new plan, I guess. We're gonna see if we can get this to work in a bit. But for now, I guess let's draw end fish. What? I'm not a villain. Listen, we were gonna immortalize Tim. He was gonna be out in the ocean. Like, I don't understand. But stuff happens, it's fine. Listen, if we can't get this to work in, like, I'm gonna see if I can get it to work during break time, I suppose. And if I cannot, we'll just swap and then I have this idea. I want to draw, like, maids with fish. Like, Monster Girl maids and fish. And I have this idea for a picture, right? So we can just do art today if this doesn't work. Incentive? What is it? Okay. Well, okay, listen. So as tradition, you guys, if you would like a sneak peek of the new model, right, which debut should be at the end of the month, on Friday, that's the current plan. You can !dice, and if you roll exactly 100, I will do a sneak peek. Maid? You know what? I've noticed. Like, I drew maids this Monday, right? This week. It's been a long time since I've drawn, like, maids. Which is quite shocking, really. So I'm not opposed to drawing more maids. It's the flavor of a Monster Girl. That's true. That's very true. Arowana fish. So these fish, these are very interesting fish. We're gonna draw an arowana fish. Why not? Let's see. So they have, like, they're mostly, like, flat on top. And they have, like, a little stuck-up mouth. And they have, like, a fin like this. There is a cooldown on the dice, yes. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Are you guys having a good Thursday? Okay, so they have this. Then they have, like, 3 little fins on the bottom. This one, and then, like, the little one right there. Yes? Some of them... Man, these fish they're so shiny. How to draw shiny fish? We'll have to figure it out. Dabs are funny. Wait, I remember seeing a picture of one of those. Let me look this up. Dab fish. They are very silly. They're a lot less shiny. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures and they're very silly. Okay, so now the question is, what color do we want our arowana fish? So they have, like, big, angry, pouty lips, and then they have, like, great big old eye, right? Oh. Jericho, hello there. Glad you could make it today. Green? Were you thinking green? Okay. These guys have pretty big eyes, though, don't they? And it's a lot closer to their mouth as well. They have such frowny faces. I feel like we need to give him, like... I think he needs a chunkier face.
There's so many
Oh.
of you. And all at once.
Andrew, hello there. Oh my goodness, thank you very much for the raid. Wait, I'm getting... You're hijacking the whole stream? Wait, really? Wait, how does that work?
You've fallen into my trap.
Oh. I feel like I need to... No, hold on. This one, this one. Oh gosh, we're getting raided, everybody. Don't panic. Do I need to, like... But yeah, welcome in, raiders. Hello, it's me, Isla Ann. We're doing some art today. Hopefully we can get the W place, like, drawing thing to work. And then if we can, then we're going to be drawing a fish in the ocean, like, later. For now, though, please don't... Listen, we don't have, like, anything cool here, I swear. Like, maybe some books or something, but, like... Please, if it's a hijacking, like, just listen, we can resolve this peacefully, okay? I feel like I've seen your name around, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for the raiders. If you got a raid and run, do make sure to take care of yourselves. And if not, we are just chilling and doing some art today. We're gonna draw some pixel art fish, and probably some other more different fish.
Fine. It's work. I guess I am cute.
Listen, it's fierce. It's fierce, okay? It's fierce. But thank you for the fish. Hello. Luna trivia thing. Yes! Oh, yes! Oh my gosh, I have that. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Listen, you were doing art today? You wanna share? If you would like to share art, do the art tax, right? Just let one of the mods know and they'll give you permission to post a link, yeah? But yeah, again, thank you very much for the raid. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Just, you know, listen, we can resolve the stick up peacefully, okay? Do I want to see? Heck yeah, I do. Okay, mods, can we give Andro link permission real quick? Yeah, go for it. Let's see it. Sly Fox, thank you for the bits. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Ooh, nice perspective. I like the lighting. Man, those eyes really pop. Yeah, that's nice. That's good. Very cute. Heck yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me also check out your Twitch page. Here we go. Oh my gosh, your little avatar is adorable. Nice. You like Schwark? Nice. But yeah, again, if you gotta raid and run, I very much understand. Do make sure to take care of yourself, okay? Alright, so we have Feesh. Gonna make him green. Let's see. Let's finish drawing these pixel up. Let's finish figuring out the pixels. Grab food. Oh, 2 a.m. Oh, geez. Sleep. Sleep if you need it. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, I'll catch you later, maybe. Yeah? Okay. So the tricky thing with pixel art is figuring, like, how... Like... So my understanding of pixel art is that you don't want...
Hello.
You always want to, like, reduce the like, you don't want this particular, like, square. It makes the edge look really harsh. So you gotta, like, eliminate pixels that, like, touch each other weird. I don't know. I'm trying to think how to explain that properly. What is sleep? Wait, Phoenix, are you not sleeping? Kailua, hello there. Glad you could make it today. God King, welcome. Welcome. Harsh edges are fine depending on what you're making. True. For, like, organic shape like fish, like this block here, like, draw arrow. So yeah, so, like, this right here looks weird, right? That's too much, like, the edges are too thick, right? So, like, it looks weird. But then you're like, well, do I take this out? Do we do something like that? Does that make it better? But yeah, this is why pixel art can be difficult. Well, some pixels are gonna have to touch, yes. But you gotta be smart about how they touch. So basically, with pixel art, you're boiling down a shape to the fewest possible, like, representations of the thing, right? Which is what makes it difficult, but also really fun, you know? And, like, this pixel right here looks weird because it's up all by itself. So if we put that right there, then how to show the fin, right? Do we want to do something like this? Does that make it look better? Pixels must touch respectfully. Exactly. Okay, I think that's pretty solid. We could actually remove this one pixel. Maybe give him a slightly different face shape. I'm actually wondering if we give him just a little bit more, like an angle like this, just so that we could have a more dramatic frowny mouth. I don't know. Has anybody looked up a picture of a arowana fish? Because they're so frowny.
BTW, I know I said green, but please, for the love of D, do not make it shiny Pokemon. They look extremely nauseous green.
But what if shiny green? I like shiny green. Listen, we're gonna try out some different colors. Jericho, thank you very much for fish. This is Tim. This fish down here, this is Tim. He needs some shading. He's kind of, like, it's not bad, but he does need some shading. And probably some highlighting as well. We'll work on that in a bit. For now, though, I think we need to also, like, reshape the tail a little bit here. Just so that the end over here kind of sticks out a little bit more. All right, let us figure out what type of green do we want. I'm kind of thinking like a bluish green. So we're doing this on a layer below, and the thing with these fish, they have like crazy scales. So if we just kind of draw some random scrunkly patterns through here, we can go through and kind of fix it here in a little bit. But we kind of have the start of like a scale pattern. Can you see it? It's a little strange looking right now, but Do you see it? Do you see it? Because then we can just go through here and we can just layer on some different colors. And it kind of implies scales, doesn't it? And we'll clean this up a little bit more. Fill in all of these little gaps. Let me actually check my reference again. So they have like a, let's see, behind their eye, like this. We want to make sure all this is like one color. I think this green, this one right here, we might need to make this a little bit more blue and a touch more saturated. So let me grab, for only 2 editing layer, let's make sure that we have anti-aliasing off. Actually, what if we, let's see, make it a little bit darker. Oh, blue is interesting. It's not really green. It's a little green, I guess. That's kind of a nice color, though. A greenish green? Is this not green enough? Have we failed in the quest to make green fish? I kind of like this, like that he has like this white belly. I think that's kind of interesting. Let's make sure his fin is colored. Maybe this one and this one. But I kind of like this. He's just got a white belly. It's kind of nice. It's interesting. I don't think that is how their colors really work. They're very solid color with like very it's the scales with these fish that make them look so shiny. It's not this, so this isn't green. It's just kind of green. I see. I mean, it's green adjacent. It's pretty good, right? I think we're gonna leave the white. I think we're gonna leave that. I think that's very nice. Like all of these random like pixels, accidents, but sometimes with pixel art, if you want like a texture, sometimes you do need the random element. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna steal? Wait, you're stealing the fish? The artwork's not even done yet. Why would you steal this? Don't you cackle mischievously at me. Okay, so why doesn't this look like an arowana fish? Okay, so it's got the big frowny face. We have the cheek puff. I think we actually need to make sure that we draw in like this the gill line. I think we definitely need to make sure that we draw this. Very important. That's better. But well, I listen. I just laugh. Okay, it's not inherently mischievous or anything. I actually had a random idea, so this makes it a little bit more complicated. But what if we just applied a multiply layer to like and pixel art? You know, so we don't disrupt the textures, but we can add some shading. That might actually be a very nice, easy way to do the thing. And then, if we do this, like this, right? We can just add some more texture. Like we keep our textures properly like this.
Make a new layer. Do it.
I mean, I guess. Oh, Magnus Father, you got a 99? Yo, that's so close though. Wow. Okay, here's your new layer. There it is, right there. Layer number 8. What if we make this a screen layer and then we grab like a fairly bright color? So close. This looks weird. I don't know that I like this. I feel like for this new layer, instead of doing this, let's make this a normal layer. Let's actually grab all of these colors and we're just gonna make like a shiny. We're just gonna make it shiny, I think. One shiny, please. So then the question becomes, do I like this multiply layer? Hum yum hum. I don't know if I do, actually. Like, it's not bad, but I don't think it really works the way I want it to. We should remove a little bit of those colors, probably. Now that's interesting. That's a new color. Oh, I know what we need to do. Hold on. We gotta make the eyeball shiny. There we go. That looks better. Listen, I promise, I have not done any tampering with the dice roll. It is purely that it's just difficult to get it to roll maximum amount. That's all. Okay, looking at reference again. Let's see here. So their tails kind of have like... Actually, let's go back to multiply layer. If we add... Let's just throw some little stripy boys on here and see how that looks. I'll have to clean this up a little bit, I think. Okay, so what can we do to make this look more correct? If we were to make his cheek shape a little bit more apparent, maybe? I wonder if we should give him like some shading around his eye as well. Honestly, pretty good. I kind of like that. Okay, so the next thing would be how to actually make the color More shiny. Nope, that's the wrong brush. Don't do that. The closest roll has actually been 99. No dice roll? That's alright. Listen, there is a cooldown timer on the dice roll. Listen, just keep trying. Listen, if somebody in the chat, one of the denizens today, rolls 100, right? I will show a chunk of the model. You can roll negative numbers. Wow, we're getting, what is the word? Nonsensical all up in here. There's like a proper math terminology for it, I think. Imaginary? Something like that. The numbers are getting very silly, is all I'm saying. Guppy, no. Listen, no, that is very wildly inaccurate. We will not be pushing the words, please. I will not push the debut back if you roll negative. That is not how that's gonna work. Wow, my words just completely failed right there. Impressive, actually. Okay, so we need to add some like shading to the fin as well, I think. Yeah. So I think part of the problem with this, we need to squinch all these layers together so that I can actually edit them a little bit easier. I got too many layers. We're gonna squash all these together. Yep, we're merging them all together. There we go. All right. So now let's make sure that we have our. Oh, that shading looks correct. Honestly, this is looking pretty good. I'm liking this so far. Just gotta make sure that let's make all of our scales look a little bit shinier. I wonder if we need to replace this layer. Like, this color is okay. I think it could be better though, probably. Do we like adding the highlighting here? I think that took away from it a little bit. So we will not be adding the highlighting right there.
Make a new layer. Do it.
Alright, here's your new layer. There's your chaos layer. Is it true my brain is made out of cheddar and broccoli soup? You know, it's been a long time since have I ever actually eaten that? Maybe one time in my life. It'd be very strange if that was what my brain was made of. Okay, well, we're working on a new layer now. Thanks for that. You have made it slightly more difficult. Are you pleased? Here's your chaos layer. That's what we're drawing on right now. I guess that's the point of the chaos layers, though. They do be chaotic. Ow. Listen. I'm having a hard enough time, like, braining today. I need the brain cells. You are pleased? Okay, very good. What did I just say? No. Maybe it isn't quite enough. Maybe it is not quite green enough. Let me grab, this is the wrong layer. Let me grab all of these green. Let us add just a little bit more saturation. And more lightness? Maybe a little bit of a hue shift? No, that's not quite right either. Okay, so that's saturation. We don't really need to mess with that. I think I do want to brighten it up a little bit, but I think the problem... This color might just be too... I don't know. There's something off about the color, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. Hold on. Let's line this up. I think the problem might actually be our lighting color needs to be a little bit, it needs to be hued a little bit different-y. Maybe a little bit more. I smell scuff. It's not that scuffed. Okay, well, it is a little bit scuffed because let's see, the stratagem for today. We're going to go to W Place and we're going to collectively draw a fesh all together, right? But I can't seem to place pixels down, so I cannot currently log in, which is a little bit scuffed, I will say. If unlimited hammers at 8, so you're saying you would want to do a deluxe whack for 8,000 channel points. You would be cool with this. What is this layer? Hello? Is it treating all of that shading as the same thing? How curious. Let's turn our tolerance down. There we go. So this definitely needs to be a little bit more green. It's very blue. Yeah, these colors are really close. Like, I think that's part of the problem. Maybe this one needs to be a little bit darker. Could have a little bit extra shading through here. Maybe it's also the white. This is very white. That might also be part of the problem. Honestly, that's looking pretty good though. Right? Oh, adding the shading like around the scales, that's pretty good. This is a pike. It's supposed to be an arowana fish. Arowana. They're really interesting, like, fish. We're making it green. Normally they're like red or yellow or like brown. Actually, on this reference picture, we've got a white. I guess they have like a lime green flavor of fish. But yeah, red, yellow, white. There's like a lime green one, but that might just be the coloring. Oh, yo, let's go. Yeah, let's go. That sounds amazing. Fabulous. Do keep doing arm stretches though. I do them. They're very important to make sure that you are not like injuring yourself by drawing too much. It's important. I don't know, he's not quite as magnificent. I think the issue is that he actually needs to be longer. Gumpy, why are you rolling negative numbers? I'm so confused. Okay, let's add some shading to Tim, shall we? Because we need to jazz this up a little better, I think. So if we grab these color, Then we just hue shift, just add little tiny bits of shading around the shape. And then I think, let's see, let's grab this color, but let's make it more saturated and a little bit lighter. Let's just add a little bit more lighting through here. And then we take this color, let's make sure that we actually add some squares of white. That way there's lit up bits. It's not very noticeable. So if we grab a slightly more blue, we can actually have some little hints of lighting. Yes, yes, very good, very good. And then, need, let's see, so our lighting is here. So let's make sure that we make all of this, just a little bit of lighting through here. We do have, this does make it confusing because there's a lot going on and it doesn't necessarily look like scales, like it should. Can we add just like little hints of color through here to make our scales look a little bit better? It's been an hour already? Really? How? We just started drawing, didn't we? Didn't we just start? Tim is a pencil case? So there are flavors of Tims that are pencil cases. The Tim that I have on my desk, my assistant Tim, he is not a pencil case. No. He is a different flavor of fish. He's close though. No. Tim's not a pencil case. Don't worry. It's even better. He's a cat toy. We should probably go do break time, and then we can return. On break, I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's going on with the pixel art program. See if we can actually do a bit of that today. And if not, then we're gonna start working on an illustration idea that I had. Do I let cats terrorize Tim? No, I do not. Tim is safe. I keep him very safe. He's on my desk at all times. I do not let the cats play with him. Fear not for Tim. But yeah, everybody, let's do and break time. Please enjoy break screen, and we shall return within 5 minutes. Okay? Okay. Wow. Okay. Hello again, everybody. All right. All right. I desire, huh? All right. We're gonna switch.
What's this?
Oh. I've infected you with my quirky speech patterns. You're welcome. Also, Ratos, thank you very much for subscription.
Ooh.
I very much
Did I
appreciate
get
it. Have I ever been to an E10? Is this a D's nuts joke? Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. Finish the joke. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like something weird is happening today. You say art now? Let's go. D's nuts joke acquired for the stream. Yes. All right. So here is the plan. Let me rename the thing. The break was a little bit longer. I was trying a few different methods for getting into the collective pixel art thing. I don't think we can do that today. I'll have to keep working on it and see if it'll work at some point, but it's not doing it yet. So for now, we're gonna draw Feesh and Maid. So basically, we're still doing drawing, but in this case, we're gonna do an illustration thing. So let's see. How to retitle Stremb. Maids and Fish for all. There we go. That's good enough. I'll probably have to ask. So I don't know why it's not letting me log in, but I'm definitely getting an error. I thought I had everything set up properly before Stremb, but yeah, it's a little scuffed. That's all right. Listen, this is not like a one-time thing. We can absolutely try this again another day. You know. 11-inch automatic flopping fish that you can fill with cat toys or catnip. Is he 11 inches? Yep. I think that's him. Have you found his brethren? Imagine if I had like 24 Tims. But then if I have too many Tims, then it's not as special, right? I just have the one Tim. But imagine having like 24 of them. You know? Anyway, alright, so what we want to do, we're going to draw, let's see, draw a maid. So we're going to have like a worm's eye view, because what we want to have, I want a picture with like flying fish in it. So we're going to have something like this, and we're going to have like, let's see, perspective, we'll probably do something like this. So we can have some cool buildings over here. We can have a maid like walking along the road. And then, let's see, skirt's gonna go whoosh like this. And then we're gonna have like a shoal of fish like going like this. That's gonna be the stratagem. You guys got the plan? They're all sold out? Oh no. Listen, Tim is a hot commodity, I guess. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the stratagem. We're gonna have fish. I think I want to have, let's see. Let's lower the opacity on this. We have our idea. So now we gotta figure out how to, let's see, how to draw, let's see, ground level. I want to have a little bit of like I don't know, like cobblestone streets or like cool rocks or something right here. So we're going to try to do a little bit of a texture like that for now. They might even look like fish scales, perhaps. How would this work in perspective, though? Let's do a little bit more sketching before I decide that. Because if this is going to be like a fisheye perspective drawing, if we have our horizon line here, and then we have just a little bit, actually that's a little too tall, this to be very low, so then let's see, this would be, we'd have our straight lines out like this, and then the rest of the lines would curve ever so slightly. So fisheye perspective is weird. We're kind of just drawing a bunch of chicken scratches right now. I'm working out in my brain how this is gonna work. So then we're gonna have, let's see, this is where all of the focal point is, right? So then we have, this is basically going to be straight up and down from here, and then all of the rest of these things are going to slightly curve, just a little bit. And then it's going to curve even more out to the sides here. So we're trying to figure out... Let's see, let's get rid of this line. Yeah, we're setting up Peak Tour right now. We have that. It's a little bit less curvy through there. Bit more curve through there. It should be a very subtle fisheye effect. Okay, so with this, yeah, mom. Let's actually get rid of a chunk of this and this. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of blue, and we're gonna have orange fish. I don't know if I want them to be koi. Maybe koi fish? That way we can have lovely, like, orange. If you look into a fish's eye... It is always fisheye perspective. True. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we have our... Let's make sure we draw straight lines from our horizon line or our vanishing point as much as possible there, so that way we have some idea where what the ground looks like. And then let's see, from here then we also have a very slight fisheye perspective, so we're gonna curve lines on the ground as well. So we got a lot of curvy stuff happening here. Very nice, very good. Alright, so now we have our basic perspective grid. Let's call it that. So we have our perspective grid. We've got that kind of figured out. So where does character fit into this? Well, we need to make sure that they follow along with the perspective a little bit. We're going to make sure that they are mostly by this one vanishing point, so that way they're not too warped by the fisheye perspective. Okay, so they are this tall. We're gonna divide them in half, and then this is where upper body and head is, and then we can have like the feet and legs be a little bit more exaggerated, just so that it looks a little bit like they're being affected by perspective, right? So this is curving up. So let's see, we're gonna have, let's see, they're carrying groceries back. Have like grocery bag, like so. And then, let's see, we can have, let's see, maid outfit, very important. You lack object permanence. Listen, it happens sometimes. That's alright. So let's see, where's our main focal point is going to be right here. So we need to have made probably like looking down at the fishes. Ah, hello, hello. Welcome in, fellow kitsune. And then. Alright, so the other thing that we need to make sure we figure out, buildings and such and so on, we want... Okay, so I do want the sky to be very blue. We're gonna emphasize different colors. So if we have a great big sky, let me just chunk in a potential like skyline to reinforce visually that we are looking at maid and also fish. So that means how to actually we have and vanishing point right here. So let's make sure that we draw, let's see, some lines straight from that, because that's going to be informative on how angled the buildings are going to be. Then we have like a curvy line here. So we're probably going to need to divide this space up a couple of times, just because we're going to... the scale of the buildings, we got to make them look really thin. Have you guys ever looked up a picture of like New York City, and then like you look down like a road or something? All of the, like, you have the front of a building, right? And if you, it's got all the windows and stuff, but then if you like compress it so that you're looking from the side, like there's that detail is still there, but it's like really, really compressed. This is basically what we're trying to figure out and do for like buildings along the road here. So like it always surprises me, no matter how many times I draw something like this, the buildings are very squimped together just due to the way that the perspective works. Okay, so we want to have, let's maybe do like a fancy like light pole. Oh, we could have cool little like this. And then the other side, we also want to have something like that for this part of the road. So buildings are difficult, but they can add a lot to an illustration. So that's why I'm spending time trying to figure out how to set this up. Okay, so that is our... I think we're gonna reduce the amount of... Do I want to reduce the amount of fisheye perspective? Not really. Now that I'm drawing it. If we curve this many, it is gonna look a little strange. Let's see, if this building is this tall, and then this building is like this tall, this tall. We can kind of just have an interesting shape, and then down here we could probably like curve these back around like this. Oh, we could have a cool archway. Ooh, ooh. I like archways. They're fun. Tim is a black grass carp. Oh, okay, okay. Today we have learned. We now know what Tim is. Where he comes from. Where is he going? That's a good question. You know what we could do? Ooh. Okay, so depending on a few different things, we have a lot of lighting options that we could do. Like, just imagine you have like the sun right around here. We could do some very, very interesting things. Okay, so we have kind of a general setup. Let's go through and let's refine this a little bit more. I'm gonna hide this. Let's work on maid. This is very important. Okay, so maid is, we're gonna have the skirt whooshing out like this way. Let's make her gestural a little bit. So she is kind of... Okay, so we still want this. Got our fish. Okay, so we want to make her whole gesture just a little bit more curvy. And then, so if her skirt is whooshing out like this, then we also want her hair to also be going like this. Where is exactly the place? Correct. The wheres and whens, when they meet up, wow, you're gonna see some stuff. Okay, so let's see. Gonna have back foot up off the ground a little bit. Why? You know, that's listen, that we don't need existential like quandaries during streaming hours. Listen, we're here to chill and hang out and be a little bit creative, yeah? Original plan for today's stream. Listen, I'm gonna figure out how to make it happen, and then we can try again another day. The question is... should we make kitsune maid with fish? Oh, I see the roll. Nice. Nice attempt. Why am I fierce? I just am. Listen, my whole existence just exudes the fierce, does it not? Actually, if I drew... don't know that I necessarily want to draw myself as a maid, but like orange hair would be interesting. But also if we have a lot of shades and hues of blue. And then we have the orange for the fish. That would be pretty good. Okay, as always, we gotta ask, what the arm doing? Can we draw roughly made a prawn and still be able to see the face? This character is really long also, which might not necessarily be an problem, but it is something that we need to keep in mind. They're very, very, very long currently. Okay, so we need to make sure that the skirt has like a set volume, and I'm thinking if the skirt is like this long on this side, we need to make sure that it would only be about this long on this side. So we actually need to squinch in some of this cloth wrinkle. Keep in mind that we have a certain perspective. Okay. The Squishla is waiting to attack. Maybe. Arm doing arm things. So there's a few things that we could do. Like it's a body language thing. Let me actually copy this later before we continue. So if we also need to move the head and face probably. So spine is here, neck would pop out here, so our head would actually be kind of here-ish. So we got the neck hidden behind the ruffles, and then we're gonna see the head like so. Do like looking downward, right? So we could do like noticing the fish, so we have the arm just kind of up, like a kind of a running, not quite running, but like in motion sort of a pose, which those look pretty good, right? Like traveling with fishes kind of a thing, you know? So this arm goes back, that means this arm goes forward. So if we have this arm and it has like a food basket or something, then that would be very telling that, you know, you could have like a leek or a, you know, traditional, like you always gotta draw a leek. That's like the key, I've gone shopping, you know? Oh, an unexpected dice. There's an unexpected dice in the bagging area. Please remove item and try again. So this would be an option. Do we like this option? What are our alternatives? Let's try one more thing. If we have maybe a look of a startlement and oh my gosh, imagine if fish, so flying fish, right? Not wholly a unique concept, but imagine if the flying fish were like seagulls and they would just swoop down and like steal stuff from your like hands, like if you have food and stuff. So if we draw maid carrying a bag of groceries. Me if I was a fish. Feesh. Listen, you can spell it F-E-E-S-H, that's fine. Do I develop a story for a picture? It depends. Flying fish is not a unique concept. Yeah, true, very true. But it's still a fun concept though, right? Like gigantic bugs, not a unique concept, but it's very cool, right? But yeah, it really depends. So a lot of the time, if you know like who the character is and like what they're doing, well, in this case, the story is there's a maid. She's walking back, she's walking back to place of residence, and a swarm of flying fish like happens to be swimming through the air by her. That's kind of the whole thing. The whole plot of the illustration. But one of the big things I like doing with drawing is you do iterations. So like I have multiple variations where here she's kind of looking at the fish happily. This one she's a little bit more startled, and you can we're still kind of in the thumbnailing stage of all this. So like I don't have a solid this is 100% what I'm going to do yet, which is why we're doing iterations to try to figure out the best way or how we want to figure out what's going on, right? You know, I'm wondering, we have a cat girl maid. We could draw her again. Seagull fish? They swoop in, they steal food. But yeah, I'm actually thinking that if we draw, let's draw some teardrop shapes for now. We've got to figure out our fish shapes, because we want like the fish to be swimming like this, and they kind of get a little bit bigger. Let's see, we're gonna have these go like this. So yeah, if we have sunlight from right here, we could have some very interesting like rim lighting on all the fish. I think it would like glint off the scales really nicely. And like the fins are kind of transparenty as well. So we could have some very interesting like lighting effects. And then just gotta make sure that our shoal of fish, I guess I do want to have like a heckin' swarm of fish, right? We're gonna have some of them that look really derpy because we're gonna see them like almost straight on. We could have like one giant like shark up in the sky right here, flying shark, And that would give us like a really nice like spiral. Like we could have some really interesting like visual cues. So issues that I currently have with this. I like the maid. We got to figure out more about her. Is she going to be cat girl maid that I've drawn before? Because that might be really good. The buildings themselves, how do we want to do those, right? Golden ratio, the Feesh. Exactly. We're trying to make this visually pleasing. So we're trying to figure out specific design elements. Hello. Glacial Nova, hello there. Glad you could make it today. Welcome. This fish is... You know what? Let's put you on your own layer. You are going to be very far up in the sky. Okay, so the buildings. How do we want to do the buildings? Honestly, figuring out the background is going to be very important. I think I will actually make this one of our, one of the maids that I have drawn before. I think that's fairly important. Yawning makes you scared. Oh, okay, sorry. Listen. I'll try to contain it. Promise. Let's make sure we actually draw not in pink. Okay, so we got that. I think I like the groceries. Okay, we're gonna copy this once again. Let me actually also let me also open up our category. Oh, actually, oh my goodness. You guys remember on Monday we drew this one, right? What if we drew our fawn lady? That would be very good actually. Okay, so let's adjust our windows here. Target located. Bam, adorable. She's so heckin' cute. Let's draw her. And she's got the longer like maid outfit. This is perfect. Her feet are a little different-y, but we can figure that out. The yawns are contagious. Be aware. Be advised. I should save this. I haven't actually done that yet. That would make a lot of sense to save the thing. Okay. Bam. Saved. Okay, what this? We're gonna keep you. You're gonna be a hidden layer in this file. No one will know it's there except for us. Alright, let's make this. Should we add glasses to this character? The only I say the only issue. It's not really an issue. She has her hair up in like a bun, so we don't actually get to have her hair super like flowing in the wind. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, so we want to make sure we got to figure out perspective of the face here. Okay, so here is jawline. Partially hidden by the ruffles. Okay, so then here is where her ear is gonna be. We're gonna flip out this part of the ear. Hello, hello. Scratch, hello there. Glad you could make it today. Welcome in. Ears could be flopping in the wind. True, true. Okay, so let's see. We are going to actually see... So she has her hair. It's kind of... Let's see. How to describe this. Let's make sure that I know what I'm talking about before we try to draw this. So we have her head. Here's her cranium. Her hair is being, like, twisted up into, like, a bun, like this way. Yes. So then she's got like tiny little side bangs, and then most of her bangs go like flop the other way, right? That's the hairstyle for her. So we actually get to see the twisty part of the bun. And then got the little horns. Are we gonna see the other horns? I don't know if we will. They're kind of, let's see, they would start here. We might see a little bit of one like right there, but that's mostly going to be hidden, especially if we are flipping up her hair in the wind, which we are. Strong northerly wind blows in the Feeshes. Okay, let's fix this eyebrow. Very important. Let's see. Okay, so let's also make sure she doesn't look like she's bald. So we are going to move some of her little bangs this way. And then make sure that... Here we go. Okay, so now the horn is kind of hidden by the hair. She doesn't look bald. Departing for work. Alright. Thank you very much for hanging out today. You have a good time at work, I hope. Catch you later. Okay, so now the question is, we gave her like little fawn legs, right? We might have to change up how her legs look. Face though, pretty cute. We'll take that. Okay, so now we just gotta figure out. Let's see, does this arm actually work? Okay, so we're going to have the cloth wrinkles. Let's see. I'm going to go this way. Let's see, so we have elbow. Let's see. So this is with the perspective. Let's see. Our wrinkles are gonna go kind of like that. We're gonna have to show, probably with shading, that this is the underside of the arm. Got the maid cuffs like so. Do we like the way this looks? Okay, so her back and let's see, apron would be, let's see, right about like this. So that's like where her, that would be where her waist is. We might have to change this up a little bit. Also, our, like, all of this was originally the apron ruffles. We might need to tone those down just a tiny little bit. I think we might actually need to move the waist down as well. Let's measure. So the head is about this big. 1, 2. So her pelvic floor heaps are going to be about here. So we actually do need to move the waist down just a little bit. And then, let's see, that would be a prawn right there. His hand seems really big. What sort of hand? How to hold a bag of groceries. You gotta think about the motion, right? So let's see. I wonder if she was holding it further away from her body, if that would make a little bit more sense. Let's see. So we are covering up kind of important information with like thickness and like her waist. Kind of a weird tangent with the line of the arm and like the line where that shows her hips and like the apron line. We kind of need those. So we might have to move the arm. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this layer. Again. Alright, so the knee is this long. Okay, so for her little fawn goat legs. That should work. Okay, let's figure out what's going on with the arms and the grocery bag. So let's see, her shoulder's here, then we have the neck, her other shoulder would be here, but that's actually going to be covered up like a lot by squimsh. So let's see, her apron would be like this. This is like her center line right here. Maybe more like this. Good chunk of this is going to be covered up by grocery bags, so we're not going to go too in depth with that. Okay, so if she is, like, you gotta imagine, like, holding, like, have you ever watched, like, an exercise video where they're like, hold, like, an invisible ball? It's basically how we gotta think about the grocery bag, right? So if she has her elbow, like, here, and then she is holding the bottom of the bag. And her other elbow, shoulder, other elbow would be like here. So you could see this hand like this maybe, and then we could have grocery bag kind of like this. No? You've never heard that before, really? Huh. I guess we go to different parts of YouTube then. That's, you know what? That's perfectly fine. Now I'm questioning where the heck did I hear this from? Do fawns have, like, the cloven hooves, you think? Welcome back. You've never looked up a workout video on YouTube? That's fair. Honestly, there's a lot of good, like, just workout videos. That's usually because of the 80 of HDs, I look up a whole bunch of various different types of stuff constantly. I don't ever do the same thing twice. It's very nice. We got real close today. I think I might take a screenshot of an ear, and I think I'll share it with the subscribers in the Discord. Like, we did get real close today. I feel like I should share a little something. The thirst for knowledge. It does. The only problem is that, like, you do one thing. Okay, so the difference between somebody who's practiced 1,000 different things and somebody who has done the same thing like 10,000 times, you've heard this quote, right? It would be much better to stick with one type of workout, probably. I don't do that though. One whole ear. Well, not the whole ear. Just a little. Just the tip, probably. We're gonna tease it. Just a little bit of the ear. Tiny little bit of ear. Hoofs. 2 or 4 are from hoofed animals. Odd hoofed animals. Yeah, I didn't think we'd go with, like, 3? 3 seems a little strange. I don't think I've ever actually looked at a rhino's foot, though. They have, like, the weird, like, toe things. I always thought they were, like, toes or, like, toenails or something. Weird. I clearly need to research my animals a little better, I guess. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with something like a deer, like deer hoof, which I think they're kind of like those. 80 ADs? Yes. We are blessed to live in a world with the 80 of HDs. What was the hoof question? So I was wondering if we wanted to go with like the split hoof or if we wanted to go with like a solid hoof. I'm kind of partial to the split hoof like a deer has. I don't know, there's something that you're like, ah yes, this is a fawn, right? If you see this. At least for me, that's how it works. How has it been an hour already? Again? Really? Okay, well, good news, everybody. We have our flying Feesh kind of sorted out. We have them, there's blobs, so we've got that going for us. We have figured out that we're drawing fawn character. I'm very fond of the idea. Oh, you can laugh now. Anyway, let us go do and break time, and then we shall... Yeah, the fish, they fly. It's amazing. But then we shall return and just continue to problem solve, essentially. We gotta figure out a little bit more about the background. I probably will need to look up some reference for that. Architecture is fascinating, but it's also like buildings vary so wildly with their designs. I gotta look up more reference, I think. But yeah, we got them made. That's the important thing. Thank you for the fish. All right, everybody, enjoy break screen. We will be right back. Oh. Hello, cat. Anyway, hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Felix has decided to join us. He basically just jumped straight into my elbow. Very graceful. Very nice. Very nice. Don't eat my cables. Okay, I need to... He's cat. Would you like to say something to chat? He's accepting head scritches at this time. He's a cat of few words. Alright. Oh. Thank you for head pats. Catla? That's a new one. Listen, back in the long ago, I did pretend to be a cat. Okay, so he's going to watch me draw, I guess. Alright, let us continue, shall we? I'm wondering. Like, I really want to start adding color. Like, if I chunk it in, I think that would help with visualization, perhaps. Let's leave that for now. So let's see. We want... Alright, let's chunk in some color and see what we can do with this. So we're gonna have skybox. Gonna have to make this fairly bright like this. And then let's take this color, get a little bit more gray. A little bit darker through here. Yeah, the big thing is I desire for main colors to be very blue. Like this like is, we're having the most amount of saturation right here. That's going to be the stratagem. We're framing our character as much as possible. So let's throw some of this color here. And then we actually need to make these quite a lot darker through here. Maybe a lot more gray as well. And then, do we want to... Okay, so we want very white light through here. How to make the light seem even brighter? Let's take out some of the hue, make it a little more gray. A little bit more white. Okay, so we can have something like this. And then if we have, let's see, we've got orange. If we have, let's see, let's grab a nice bright orange. And then kind of blend that in with the blue. Maybe make that a little bit darker. Then we'll have the same white. But then we have our most saturated colors by like the fish. That's kind of what I'm thinking. However, like this color gradient is very nice. But I think our contrast is all kinds of wonky. What you doing, cat? Don't know if it's the mic or what. No, thank you. So, if you are interested, I do have ASMR videos over in the YouTube land. My true nature is a gnome? No. There's 0% gnome. Return to cat. Here's the thing. I don't think cat quite fits me. I'm a little too mischievous, probably. actually I'm wondering, so we have all of this. What if? Okay, so I'm actively having to decide, do we want colors that are realistic or do we want colors that are like more fun and based more on do we want to exaggerate the colors or do we want this to be fairly realistic? Because I'm kind of thinking, oh, there you go. Kind of thinking that we want this to be a little bit less realistic. That way we can have some cool color contrasts. And if we brighten up the background quite a lot, like a lot. Actually, this color, let's turn up all the brightness. This looks very sketchy and stuff, but trust the process, okay? Cats are also mischief makers. Very true, very true. Okay, so my reasoning for doing this in particular, if we grab color like this for our maid outfit, we're gonna chunk in some values right now, and then we're gonna see if we can overlay a color here in a little bit. Yeah, the background, super not detailed. We're trying to figure out... Okay, so have something like this. If we were to... Actually, hold on. Where is my Feesh layer? This layer. You go up there. We're gonna just do this a little differently. We're gonna grab this color. We're actually gonna make this darker though. Yep. Okay. Let's just chunk in our colors, and we can sort this out here in a little bit. We're gonna do a couple of different techniques. So we want very, very orange for our fish. We're gonna try to make them stand out quite a lot. But then we're gonna take this background color and okay, so this is what, oh, look at the contrast. Yes, there we go. Lovely, very good. And then when we have lighting on our fish, which is going to be quite a lot, we're gonna have this lovely, very, very saturated color. Okay, so we need a few more in-between colors, but if we actually make our, let's do a color layer, that is not the right tool. Try again, Clip Studio. Okay, we can at least look at our contrasts, which I think is very important. So something that we're going to need to make sure that we do to make our fish stand out even more, we might need to, let's grab whatever this color is, grab a big soft brush, and we're going to lighten up the shading here. Now we could actually grab this color. We darken this part, could have even more contrast there, make this part a little bit lighter. I think we actually want to make our fish color, if we change the, okay, so this be like our darkest color right there. What color is this? maybe more like this color for our multiply layer. Okay, I still need to separate out the fish and the fawn a little bit more. Okay, how to do this? Well, let's grab a new layer. Let's grab like this color. We would have a little bit of, what would you call that? There's like a global lighting thing, right? So if we just have like a hint of color like that, that separates her out a little bit more. We still have a lot of contrast here. I think we might need to lighten all of that up just a little bit more. I think the sky might need to be a little bit brighter. We also have to figure out what's going on with the background. Because currently, it looks very strange, right? Our fish also. I'm wondering, do we throw out the blue so that we have a higher contrast between the colors? Gonna be honest, kinda like it a lot, actually. So then, let's go back to this layer. Let me just clean this up just a tiny little bit. So, in theory, if I spend more time planning out certain aspects of this picture and make them more finalized, this would all be a lot easier. I still kind of feel like I'm in the concepting stage, and I'm trying, if I figure out my colors, that's gonna help me quite a lot in future as well. So I will not count this as wasted time. I was like, what are these blue lines? That is my, this layer. That is my perspective layer. We're actually going to make that, let's throw that down there. Let's divide up our layers a little bit more. Okay, so what else can we do to make this work better already? I do like the orange on the fish. I think something we need to do is we need to add just a little bit of the eye-catching colors to our main character as well. She has brown hair, so we're just going to layer on a little bit of warmth here. And maybe probably a slightly brighter color here. But that's very blue. We are shading very blue. We might not want such a blue color. Interesting. Green looks a little strange. It's probably not what we want to go for. If we go for like a purple, that might work. Okay, so if we change this to like orange and purple, would that work better? Hum. Also, how do we want to fix background?
What's this?
Oh!
Yay for 15 months. It's always a fun time spending time with the cute gnome and being part of the arson cult.
Hold up. Wait. Soren.
Hello.
No. Hello, Soren. You absolute troublemaker. No. Listen, first off, thank you very much for subscription. But listen, it is fierce. It's fierce. It's very fierce. Okay. There's not. It's fierce. We don't do gnomes here. We also don't do arson nor cults here. What the heck? How did you get all of that so incorrect? I am concerned. Ow. Thank you for fish. Okay, anyway. So I think the next step would be to... Okay, we need to have a... Listen. That was a very crafty, stealthy maneuver on my part, where I used that time to very quickly change outfits. Yes. Maid dress for maids. I mean, we got it, right? This was made for me by Midlight. Look at the skirt. So very good. And look at this dragon on the sleeves. It's very nice. We also have leggings and little whooshy ribbons. That's very nice. It's very good. Wow. Okay, so we gotta make... So, if we look at just color contrast, our buildings and the sky color are basically the same, and I don't like that. We gotta figure out how to separate them out a little bit better. I really want this sky to be this saturated blue, because it's lovely. I think what we're gonna need to do, though, is we're gonna need to make the sky a lot brighter to separate it from the buildings. We also need a slightly better light color. It's so... There we go. Like this color. Like this. And then we can have... Oh, it's thinking. And then we make a very light, saturated, yellowish color. And then, if we take this saturated color and we overlay this on some of our buildings... What is this color? Hold on. We can... I think what we can do is make all of this a little bit darker, like this. Gonna cast a shadow from character. A lot of this we could just have... A lot of this could be lit up, actually. And if we draw our light from the perspective, like, vanishing point... Yes. Yeah, okay. We're making some progress. I'll take that. Let's grab this blue color. If we add this at the base of the buildings here... I think something we're also going to need to do... Like, the buildings currently have no definition to them. We're probably gonna need to add some of that. Like, it's not super necessary is the thing, but it would be very nice. Also, we might need to change our archway a little bit. A lot of the detail with the buildings and stuff, they're being kind of concealed by maid skort, which isn't necessarily a problem, but we have this archway here, but you don't actually see the archway like at all. And if we want to add an archway, we probably need to actually change how that looks just a little bit. And then. Let's see, so we have a very interesting, like, accidental gradient happening with the buildings. Okay, so now the question is how to enhance the colors, you know? Is this art of a specific character? So Monday we drew a picture of this fawn lady. So we're drawing her again. I opened up the file because I was contemplating drawing our cat maid, but then I saw fawn lady and I'm like, oh, She would be perfect. So yeah, is it a specific character? Not exactly, but kind of a little bit. Like, she doesn't have a name yet. Which is kind of a problem. Maybe. Okay, so issues with this picture. We have our fish. We have a very bright white light. Our character is very much in shadow. I'm really wondering if we should swap this back. Hold on, let me try one thing. We're gonna hide our multiply layer right there. Let's grab this color. It's not very blue. Okay, issues that I have with this picture. Currently, it's very cold. It feels cold. So I'm wondering if we can add... I do like the blue though, but if we can add a few more warmer tones, some mid-tones between our bright orange of our fish and like the blue of the background, I think that would help a lot. Like a lot. On the other hand, we have some very interesting color contrast. And if we look at this without the color, like, we still have quite a lot of good contrast here. The fish aren't like super brightly lit up though. Streetlights? Hemming and fawning over what to name her? Yeah, kinda. Listen, I'm actually really bad at names. Not only am I bad at remembering names, I'm also very bad at coming up with names. So in my thinking up this picture, the fish were much like brighter. Like, they stood out quite a lot. But because they had more lighting effect on them, and I'm wondering if this... You know, I just had an idea. Hold on. Contemplating. So we have this, and I do kind of like this coloring. But what we're gonna do, let's try... We're basically still at the thumbnailing stage. There's some good things here. However, if we, instead of having our lighting coming from behind all our characters, if it was not like that, what would that look like? Would that be better? Could we make this better if we did it the other way? Because I would really like to have a very blue sky. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to organize some of our layers really quickly. Okay, I don't need all of that. These are all color layers. Okay, I don't actually need that layer anymore. What's this layer? These are all sketch layers into the abyss. You are a sketch layer. We're actually going to squimsh all of these layers together. And we're going to keep that layer separate. We have our character. Yeah, mama. Don't really want that layer. What's this? Okay, so the goal is we are trying to grab all this. So this will be option 1, right? Let's try a slightly different idea. Okay, so step one. We're gonna get rid of... I'll make a new layer. Do it. I mean, I will need it. There you go. There's your layer. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of all of our current color layers, which is wild, right? Are you the new layer? You're the new layer. All right, so you are going to become our... Oh, you're going to become our new paper texture. Okay, so now...
Hey, Isla, you should save.
You know, I should save. That's a really good idea. There we go. fruit salad. Listen. Fruit salad is probably the best name. Like, you want to make new chaos layers? Listen, I feel like that we have struck about the right amount. There's not too many new layer. There's just the right amount. All right, so we're gonna try a different coloring idea. We're gonna grab. Let's color in all of our little fishes first. And let's see if we can figure out how to make them really shine. And then... Okay, so I have this. I really want to have a very, very blue sky. So let's grab a lovely sky color. Let's just make sure that it works. I'm gonna see if we can make this work. Okay, so how to make this work? Okay, so if we continue to look at our contrasts, right? Okay, so that is our sky. That's a very mid-tone. So I think what we want to do, if we separate out our buildings, we can keep them fairly blue, maybe like a blue-gray. We want that in the sky. If they're similar in color, we could actually take out some of the saturation on this color a little bit more. And then we're going to have I drew all of this on the same layer. That's unfortunate. It's not the end of the world though. It's all right. And then we add some of this, and then okay, so how to show the sky has a little bit of volume. Man, we could even go like... Do we want this color for our fish? Because we want the maximum amount of saturation for our fish. Maybe a little bit more red there. Okay, let's check contrasts again. So currently we don't have a lot of... There's not a lot of contrast. Infinite layers? No, I think that might be a little too distracting. I don't know. Okay, we gotta figure out how to add some better...
Make a new layer. Do it.
Okay, here's your new layer. There it is, new chaos layer. Let's see how to. We're gonna move this down here. How to add better contrast. Hum yum hum yum. Okay, so we definitely want to have some of this. I think this is the wrong color actually. Let's have our white be a shade from the sky. And then if we were to grab this brown color, just give me a little bit of this brown, make it that's a very gray color. Wow. Gray is such a weird color. Does the layer shenanigans surprise me? Not really. Like, I've kind of... Listen, after we have initiated it, I'm kind of expecting it at this point. A little bit. That is a very bright color.
Hello, hello.
Gamble Champ, hello there. Glad you could make it today. Ah. Okay, so let's take a look at contrasts. I think what we need to do, I actually want the ground color to be a lot darker. So let's grab this color, let's make it a little bit less saturated. And if I were to just layer this on like so. Oh. Whoa. Are we looking? Are we looking intently? So I'm wondering if we could have our Feesh. Like if we... Oh, hold on. What if... Okay, hear me out. What if... So I kind of want these to be like koi fishes, right? So if we were to... Thank you for the fish. If we add white stomachs, and like you got the little stripy bit-doos and stuff, right? So you have like super white, very orange. You have little splotches of black, right? You know, to make it look like fish. So you do this, you grab this color, but it needs to be more purple and darker. Maybe even darker and a little bit less saturated. So you could have like little splotches like this. So they become very loud color-wise, right? So then how does that work for contrast? So we have a lot of contrast between these colors now. Our sky color, unfortunately, does not work for me. I think we gotta lighten it. Like, there is no separation between our buildings and our sky color. The buildings do look background-ish enough, but I think the sky needs just more separation. Like there is not correct value there. Like we definitely have color separation, but can we make it a little lighter and keep that? Tyler, make a new layer. Do it. Okay. Very well. Here you go. We're gonna use this layer to experiment on sky color. Cause I kind of think we gotta make the sky color a little bit lighter, a little brighter. So if we do that, okay, so there's at least a little bit of a separation there. There's still very much, so we have contrast separation, we have color separation. Now the issue is we need to make the fish stand out more, and I think we need to make our maid, like she has too much contrast. We want to make her blend in just a little bit more, because the thing we want to stand out here, it is the fishes. We want the fish to really shine. That's the goal. So let's actually grab this color from the background, and we are going to layer this over just a little bit, maybe a little bit. We still want some contrast, like it still needs to look like she's wearing the maid outfit, but like we just want a little bit less contrast when compared with the background. So we actually want to lighten all of this up a little bit also. We are coloring on the wrong layer. Whoops. What? Wow. Okay, well, listen, just promise me that you won't have, like, multiple stream-long D&D sessions in the chat, okay? Okay, so I think that might work, maybe. The lit up, that's kind of weird looking now that I'm looking at this again. Alright, so something else we could probably do. Let's all go back to the background. Let's fix just one more thing now. Let's all go to the background and make it a little bit darker. Cause it's not doing what I want. It's kind of standing out a bit. We don't want it to do that. So let's just fix that up. But if we do this, then it looks very weird indeed, yes. Maybe we shouldn't have done quite so much to the background. Hum yum hum 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 hum. Okay, so wow, man. Changing one thing has changed the whole peak to it. Like, this is definitely too bright. That's too dark. How curious. Okay, so denizens, my reasoning for that, if there's like a game of D&D happening unrelated to Stremb, it's hard for anybody to jump in. It's hard for it to be inclusive, including for me. So I would just ask, keep the role playing to like a very minimum, yeah? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Alright, so now we have to ask ourselves. I feel like this is a lot closer to my original idea. There's something that doesn't quite work though, and I haven't quite figured out what that is though. If we look back at this one, this is a lot more drama, like instantly. Like this one, you're like, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's thoroughly okay. But then you look back at this one and it's just like, bam, fish. Oh.
You've fallen into my trap.
The bearded blueberry. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in, you denizen. Hum, yum, 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 yum. I do kind of want the illustration that I had in my brain. The fish really, really stood out. The maid was mostly just because it's fun, right? So I'm actually wondering, what if me? Let me squish these two layers together. Let me actually steal our fish color. Hum, yum, yum.
Make a new layer. Do it.
Fine. Here's your new layer. There you go. Man, why so tired? Okay, and we set this to multiply. We hide this layer. If we make this darker, actually. Hold on, we cooking. I smell scuff. That's not that scuff, Squishla. Calm down. Listen, we're just doing problem solving. We are figuring out how to make this work for us. That's what we're doing. Maximum contrast. The only orange. Honestly, like this is I'm so used to very bright saturated colors. I think this might be why I'm having trouble with this. We're kind of practicing something that's out of my wheelhouse a little bit. Like this has much more saturated color, right? Like in the sky. But it doesn't really work as good. Okay, so then if we're going to go with this sort of color scheme, how to make this look more finished? That's the question. So actually drawing out more of the fish, working on the maid a little bit more, etc. and so on. Exactly one person to blame for layer problem? No. Yes. So the plan is to have like, okay, hold on. Let me go back through this one also. So really we want like all of the fish in the center. We want them to have more vibrancy than like all of the fish. So like fading out why are we like this? There we go. Okay, so we fade out. Nope, don't draw on the wrong layer. That would be number one. So take out a little bit of the orange from some of these fishes. Could probably also add like a little bit more shading to some of those. But yeah, fading out the vibrancy so that all of the vibrancy, I'm trying to make you look right here, okay? All of the things, you're gonna have to look right here, okay? So we're actually, I wonder if we could punch up some of the saturation around character. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then the follow-up to that for the fish. All of this is the same layer. We probably need to copy this layer. If I make these fish like way more saturated. Yeah, there we go. That is an eye-searing orange, but there's not a lot of very bright saturated colors. Like if we look over here, you can't really see it on the color wheel too well, but like this is basically almost maximum saturation right here. That's a very fun effect. Humma 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 humma. What did I change? So what I did, I love make a new layer. Do it. Well, I guess I did make some new layers. That is technically correct. Here's your new layer right there. Enjoy that. There you go. I changed it. What did I change? Okay, so listen. Let's turn off all of the fish shading layers real quick. So one thing, our fish, we made them like really extra super saturated when combined with the shading layers that we already had. Like the color pops more, which is what we want, right? The other thing we did, I added a little color overlay in the background. Like you can, it's very subtle, but like it just makes the blue way more blue. We added a slight vignetting effect. So there's like just a little bit more. This is a multiply layer, so there's just a little bit of a vignetting effect there. And I think that's all we did, actually. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, it's... This is kind of how art goes. You set up some stuff, you kind of play around with some stuff, you tweak some stuff, and then you're like, but what if this? And then it either works or it doesn't. In this case, it worked. And I'm very pleased. That okay, this, we don't like this. We don't like that layer. To the void with ye. Okay. So, comparing the two options, I had to try it again to decide that I liked this one. So this second option, we're gonna throw that into the void too. We don't like it. We don't want it. Into the void. Okay, so we're gonna stick with this. What else do we need to make this work? I would really like for her to have... Man, based on where I put the lighting, we're gonna have to make up some lighting effects. So her multiply color. Let's see. If we were to give her like edge lighting on like her face, a little bit on some of her bangs and stuff. Oh. Ah. Yes. Okay, a little bit there. We'd see a little bit on hoofs. And maybe like chunklets like right there. Maybe a little bit there. Alright, but we do need to actually go back. Let's look at her base colors. We do need, and white. Let's grab this color. Let's grab a new layer. Let's grab a different brush. Because that is... I think we need just a little bit more color variation to get us started. And all of this is going to be white. And I'm gonna have white up around apron. We have a lot of little things to work out there. Let's give her whites to her eyes. Let's maybe give her a nice yellow for her eye color. Maybe some of this color here. We have a very interesting thing happening here. The like sky color is kind of shining through her ear color, which is not really the intent. However, it does add a very interesting effect. Because like you have the atmospheric color. So if we add like this hint of blue, well, that's probably too much, but if you add just like a hint of blue there, that might work very well actually. Okay, so if we turn back on our shading layers, we just have little bits of color, right? Like her face looks kind of weird right now. We gotta refine that a little bit more. However, just this tiny little pop of skin color. Love it.
I love
What?
Make a new layer.
Do
it.
Fine, fine. Here is your layer. Layer number 12? Really? Only 12. I guess we did get up to like 30 something and then I deleted a bunch of layers. You keep hitting enter to ruin the joke. Listen. If you have to deal with a whole lot of layers,
Hey, Isla,
make it
you
fun
should save.
and send them to the void sometimes. Why not? Saving is a good plan. Also, it's been an hour again? Jeez. Okay, well, the good news is we have, I would say at this point, we officially, see what I did there? We officially have concept for this picture. Okay? We've got a color scheme, we've got the movement, we have like, okay, actually, hold on. If we flip this the other way, you still look like right here, like right at the main character. Perfect. So, as like a concept, I'm very pleased with this. Breaking or wrapping up. I think I might wrap it up here, actually, for today. Let me pause ads. I should also stretch and hydrate. Thank you for the redeem. Bah.
Hello.
Void. Frost, thank you. Hello there. Glad you could make it today. Thank you for doing mod things. All right, everybody. So tomorrow, everybody, tomorrow we will be starting a stream. We're having Goyle's night. Oh my gosh! And it's gonna start about this time, actually. Oi. What was the highest roll for the stream? 99. So, in recognition of this, I will post a little bit of an ear in the subscriber chat in the Discord. There will be a tiny sneak peek that's gonna happen. You got close. You get well, a few pixels, but like more than a few pixels. You know what I mean? But yeah, everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. Tomorrow, we shall be streaming about this time, a little bit later than normal. But yeah, everybody, should be a lot of fun. We're going to be playing some sort of party game. It'll be very chaos, very fun. Everybody, have an excellent rest of your evening, and I will see you all next time, okay? Bye. Oh, also, we are gonna raid. I forgot to mention. Okay, hold on. Who's live right now? Let's check. I could just talk at you guys from the final square. I could just talk at you from here. Perfect. Who do we want to raid? We could read Perry. We could read Jackie. We could see somebody new. Hum yum hum yum hum yum hum. Is anybody doing art? I don't see anybody doing art. Yum. You know what? Let's raid Jackie. Why not? Alright, everybody. I will see you next time. Raid is now beginning. YouTube land denizens, thank you very much for hanging out. I will catch you later.